X-Men first hit theaters almost 2 decades ago, launching a massive franchise and making a superstar out of Hugh Jackman, an actor who was far from the first choice for Wolverine.
And that won't ever happen again.
Fox first obtained the X-Men rights in the mid-90s, with Kiefer Sutherland and Jackie Earle Haley's names tossed around as Wolverine. Rocker Glenn Danzig was even considered for a lower-budget version. However, when director Bryan Singer came aboard, his first choice was Russell Crowe. The actor, however, had just come off Gladiator and felt Wolverine was too similar of a character.
Are you not entertained?
Johnny Depp reportedly turned it down, and several other actors were considered, including Mel Gibson, Aaron Eckhart, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Viggo Mortensen, Edward Norton, Keanu Reeves, and Gary Sinise.
Yes, I know that.
But the role was offered to Dougray Scott, who was coming off of Ever After and had just booked the villain in Mission Impossible 2. After he was injured on that set and had to back out, and with X-Men already 3 weeks into filming, they went to Jackman, whom fellow Aussie Crowe had suggested earlier and who won the role on his first audition.
Because I'm the best there is at what I do.
For Professor X, Michael Jackson reportedly lobbied for the role, and Terrence Stamp auditioned, but the director was a Star Trek fan and felt Patrick Stewart was perfect for the part.
I may be able to help you find some answers.
Meanwhile, Jackson's sister Janet auditioned for Storm, as did fellow singer Mariah Carey. That was after Angela Bassett passed and before Jada Pinkett Smith had to turn it down due to a scheduling conflict. Producers then landed on Halle Berry after seeing her in Introducing Dorothy Dandridge.
We can't stop that many.
No, but we can slow them down.
For Magneto, David Hemblin, who voiced him in the earlier animated series, was considered, as was Christopher Lee. In the end, though, the director went with Ian McKellen, whom he had worked with on 1998's Apt Pupil.
Who will you stand with, the humans or us?
Another Star Trek alum, Jerry Ryan, was in the running for Mystique, but Rebecca Romijn won out.
Told you so.
After Natalie Portman turned down Rogue, producers considered Kirsten Dunst, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Christina Ricci, and Rachel Lee Cook before offering the role to Anna Paquin.
Suddenly, my life doesn't look that bad.
Hey, if you prefer the road.
No.
For Cyclops, Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, Ethan Hawke, Edward Burns, and Vince Vaughn were among those considered. Jim Caviezel and Thomas Jane both turned it down, and D.B. Sweeney auditioned before it landed with James Marsden.
You gotta be careful. I might not be there next time.
Finally, after Helen Hunt passed on Jean Grey, Selma Blair, Lucy Lawless, and Maria Bello were all considered. An offer went to Peta Wilson, but she had to decline to make La Femme Nikita, clearing the way for Famke Janssen.
Are you bored yet? Oh, yeah.
10 more X-Men related movies have followed, grossing billions. The 12th movie, Dark Phoenix, starring Game of Thrones' Sophie Turner, hits theaters June 7th, to be followed by The New Mutants, starring Turner's Game of Thrones co-star, Maisie Williams.
You actually go outside in these things?
What would you prefer? Yellow spandex?